How many grown men would it take to kill a grizzly bear with their bare hands?
God, that's tough. That's tough. You know what?
What's the setting? Am I in the wild or am I in like an octagon?
I don't know. Let's see here. I don't want to say pure octagon. I want to say, okay, there's a wooded area.
Okay.
And then there's a clearing.
Okay.
And you and a certain gaggle of men are standing there, and you're like, all right, we got to go fight this fucking bear. Okay. Bare hands. Okay. Bare knuckle brawl. Here he comes. He's going to attack this small town behind us unless we can subdue him. However, we've got enough numbers, but we don't have a lot. So we want to try to be as, conservative with our men as possible.
Yeah.
So we don't want to send too many, but we don't want to send too few.
Yeah.
So how many men total would it take to deter this bear and bring him to his knees and basically bash his brains in?
I feel like I lived this in a Dungeons and Dragons saga that I was in when I was a teenager. Now, I will say this. There's a movie out with Anthony
Hopkins
and Alec Baldwin where they kill a bear who's hunting them. And it was that the narrator from Oz, the black guy with the dreads.
Yeah.
He's in that too.
Huh. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, but this is no tricks or traps. This is just brute strength versus brute strength.
So, all right, now that we've figured the setting out, follow-up question. Am I allowed to weaponize anything in my vicinity, like a rock or a sharp stick?
Bare hands.
Okay, bare hands.
Bare fucking hands.
Okay, and a grizzly bear weighs between 400 and 800 pounds, so we'll split the difference, and we'll say this is a 650-pound grizzly bear. 600-pound mammal with razor-sharp claws taking on men and their will.
But a fiery one. He's got like a little kind of a fiery personality,
Who, the bear?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what?
He's like an adolescent and
some ADD.
Yeah, and like some bigger bear like stole a salmon from him earlier that morning.
Yeah.
So he's a little pissed.
Got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say so there's nothing. These men, it's mono.
Yeah, that's rough.
And my mono times X amount versus mono.
I think the strategy is definitely to like feed someone to it. And then
now I agree with that strategy. Well, I wouldn't necessarily like make it an open. Maybe it's an open secret that they're going to be like mauled to death. But yeah, you got to have some pawns. And then you got to have the cavalry kind of coming in. But I do think it takes numbers. But what is that number?
I got it. It's 30 grown men, and anywhere from 8 to 12 die.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's probably
because I was going to say 25 is the minimum number it would take.
That's probably accurate.
You need some in shape, like 25 guys I could deal with, but I need some guarantee that 20 of them are relatively athletic fellers.
All right, now here's the question, because I just keep running it through my head. Because originally,
is he using deer antler spray?
No. Because originally I was like, well, 10 might work depending on how we rock this. So what's the strategy for bringing said bear down? Like obviously we're going to distract it with a human, fucking meat popsicle. But number 2, where's the weak point on the fucking bear when you don't have anything to pierce its fucking skin?
Well, that's the pickle, isn't
it? The rear naked choke.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Can you choke it out? But I don't think that that's possible because they're huge.
Yeah.
So, like, is it just a lot of fucking flying kicks to the head? Like,
no, I think it's more of a surround and pound, if you will. Like, I think you got to send. Here's my strategy. Here's my personal strategy. You got different tiers here. And you're all standing pretty close though. You send 3 out to confuse him, like left, right, front. Where am I going first?
What am I doing? Yeah.
And then you got 10 coming up as like a kind of like a half moon coming straight at him behind the 3. And then once the 3 kind of get their first swats where their brains are on the ground,
once they get disemboweled,
The 10 swarm in, and then everyone else behind attacks, rushes. You got a group going behind, a couple just beating on him, a couple trying to strangle, and I'm just going straight skull smashes on him. That's all you got.
Yeah, you gotta like stomp. I think maybe the real, like, I think you definitely have to do it in waves. Of course, like there are pawns. There, 3 guys are dying.
How are you convincing another man that he's a pawn?
I'm not.
You don't tell them that they're the pawn.
We're just
you guys kind of.
This is all happening simultaneously.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So nobody at that point thinks that they're a pawn. But at some point, I've whispered to you, Murray's gonna fucking take this one. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but
get a couple steps.
I have to admit that I'm cocky enough to think that I can get away from the bear. So I might volunteer to be a distractor chaser.
Yeah, like there's a motherfucker.
A couple like bear does this, Murr rolls.
Yeah,
Like,
except once that's literally just scoops the innards out of them one time, and then he just hits the floor.
Yes, but that's the reality.
Murr stands up after said roll. His small intestine pops out, and it turns out that he did have leaky gut.
Yep,
all along.
But at that point in time, we should just be kicking the shit out of this bear. Yeah, but I think you just got to incapacitate it. So like at the initial, all right. So you got guys who are going to die for distraction. And then I think your initial wave needs to go at the legs. You need to, like, here's the real question.
You've never given us a number.
Like, how many men does it take to push over 600 pounds? Like, cow tip 600 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like 10 guys can get that done.
Well, see, I think we have to limit it to the amount of, like, guys that we know. Because otherwise you could go straight, like, strongman competition, and like that means one could push over a bear.
Yeah, the offensive line for Nebraska.
Yeah. Okay. Well, still guys that we know. I think I got 10 guys that can flip a bear. Now, an eating bear.
Yeah.
A distracted bear. All right, 15 guys. I'm going 15 bare minimum. We do this right. That's what gets it done.
Wait, wait, so I'm saying 25. How many are you saying?
30.
15.
Okay, well then I think we have to split the difference there. So we're saying 20 grown adults can take out a bear.
I think we need to put this up to a poll.
Yeah.
To our listeners and all of our
with
podcast
zero
people.
weapons in a Alaskan clearing. I'm taking this.
Right.
Yeah. I think you got to make it quick. You don't want to try to outlast the bear. I think that's a bad move.
There was a video that I watched on the Discovery Channel probably 20 years ago where a guy built a suit that was designed to withstand a bear attack. And the way his litmus tester is to figure out if this was legit or not.
To run it over with a Volkswagen?
No, they suspended a log with 2 like cables to where it could rock, and they were they dropped it on his face. He had this huge fucking protective mask on. He was supposed to, okay. He had set it up to where he was going to do it in stages, like 20 feet, 40 feet, and then I don't know, like 55 feet away. The person who was just like cranking it up thought he said take it all the way up, and he did it the first time. And he actually all he did was fall over.
Yeah,
like, because there's so much weight of this arm. But a geologist, a biologist said something. Someone who was like a park ranger. / very, very knowledgeable on everything. Otherwise, like, I really wouldn't do this. I really wouldn't.
It's still a bad idea.
The bear won't stop.
Yeah,
just continue to go at you.
It will open it.
But the best part about that documentary is how it ends. The problem is the suit weighs so much. He walks out into the wilderness, and he can't move anymore. And he's so tired from walking to try to go out to fight the bear that he starts weeping, and that's how it ends.
You've seen that?
You wasted all that.
I saw that.
You wasted all that time, and you didn't get fucking like helicoptered in on top of a fucking bear. Like, come the fuck on! Oh man,
yeah.
Remind me not to watch that.
He just starts weeping.
I saw a Bear Grylls episode.